This morning by Zach Daranowski. Now, you may know him better online as MD Motivator. Huge social media presence, over 12 million followers on TikTok. He's from Windsor, and he does some amazing things to, really focus on kindness. Zachary, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
So, for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about your presence, especially on TikTok, and the type of videos you do.
I make videos that were centered around unconditional love and kindness, and the account MD Motivator actually stands for Medical Doctor Motivator, because I started this account when I was depressed in medical school, medical doctor, on the other side of the world in Sydney, Australia, and I did it to find a friend. So it really started with mental health awareness, and I was just blindfolded hugging people to feel less lonely, and then it just turned into a life of its own, and now I'm making videos where it went from hugs to flowers to gift cards to money to flights to you name it, and we're just able to bless beautiful people around the world who are kind, and just trying to show the world that there's a lot more kindness out there if we just give it a chance to be, and strangers can be supportive if you let them be.
So have you been surprised by the public and strangers' response when you go out there and you do these acts of kindness for people?
Not as much as I was when I started. So, probably the biggest takeaway lesson I get every single day is people who have the least give the most. And the best example would probably be the first video I did actually in October of 2021, Pizza, the corner by Outlet downtown. It was like a Wednesday morning, and I had a sign that said, "Who do you wish you were with right now?" And this guy comes up on the street at the corner. He's like, "My ex." I said, "What happened?" He's like, "She cheated on me." I said, "So how are you now?" He's like, "I'm homeless." I said, "How come?" He's like, "Well, she has 2 kids, and I didn't want them to be on the street, so I gave them the house to live in." And I was just blown away that he said that so nonchalantly. And my videographer, who records me through like a wireless mic, like a walkie-talkie, I said, "Wasn't this guy like on the other side of the street like a minute ago? And didn't he put change into like another homeless man's like Tim Hortons, like homeless man's Tim Hortons cup? Like I thought he said he's homeless." He's like, "Yeah, he did." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna like call him out and ask him." I said, "Did you just like on the other side of the street? Did you just put change into another man's cup? I thought you said you were homeless." He's like, I'm like, "Where did you like the money from?" He's like, "It's my birthday in a few days." I'm like, he's like, "I had a few extra bucks." I'm like, "How old did you turn?" He's like, 32. I'm like, "Happy birthday." And I was just blown away. And then we were able to create like a GoFundMe and raise money. And the biggest thing with these GoFundMes isn't the money as much as it is it redevelops a support system of getting these individuals back into whatever community that they were before. Because other than a few $1,000, like your life's your life, and to get back on the right trajectory is everything. So it mind blows me that people at least give the most, and that money isn't really the solution to a lot of these problems outside of a few $1,000s. Because we've done GoFundMes for upwards of $100,000 for individuals, and we noticed that wasn't really the case.
Now, Zachary, how do you hold it together? Because I'm watching some of your videos. I turn into a blubbering idiot sitting there on the couch. How do you keep your composure? Because that's amazing with some of these stories.
I don't. To be honest with you, a lot of the films are like POV style, so it's like a GoPro on my chest, like a hidden camera. But I'm like tearing up sometimes. I'm like, I'm shaking. Sometimes people notice that like, "Oh, you were shaking when you make the videos." It's like, it's real. It's beautiful to see people that are so beautiful to someone who either A, has nothing to give, or B, just out of the goodness of their heart to another stranger. So there's no more fulfillment than doing what I'm doing in terms of how the feeling that it provides. So I just feel very, very blessed and grateful to be able to keep spreading the love.
Once again, we're joined by Zach this morning. You know him better on social media as MD Motivator, and I know a lot of your most popular videos are where you ask someone for like $1 or $2 for bus fare, and when they give it to you, you end up hearing a little bit more about their story and then giving them a bunch of money. So how do you raise that money that you end up giving out to all of these people in need?
Yeah, so like I said, the video started with hugging. So I used to go on Instagram Live like once a week, and like I was depressed, like I said. So people who didn't want to do like their laundry or cook or clean their room, I would just do that. And I was on a live after I was doing these hugging videos, and someone's like, "I'll give you $100." I'm like, "You want to give me $100?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "I love what you do with like making people feel good. It'd be nice if you could give them money." And I was just like blown away that a stranger wanted to give me money, assuming that I'm going to give the money to someone else who's deserving, who's then going to use it the right way. Like all these steps that need to be followed. So I felt so like confused and honored, but like a little anxious So I did a video in Mexico when I was there where we gave it to a street vendor, and then there was then I created like a donation link for people to donate. I started to be able to make funds, so then I started just every dollar I essentially made, I just keep doubling and giving it back. And then I've had brands or sponsors be able to companies sponsor it, and I just keep doubling down on the donations. There's a donation link in my bio, and then obviously any money that I make, I just put right back into giving to strangers.
So Zach, what's next for you then? I know mental health is a big thing for you. So I'd read you were talking about maybe starting a nonprofit. So what's some of the other things on your horizon?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest, most exciting thing for me is I'm starting a nonprofit called 143, and that's going to be centered around mental health at the high school and college level. Because although the money makes the videos go viral, for me at the core of why I started this and why I continue to do this is to make people feel seen and heard and know when they're going through something. Sometimes talking to a stranger is everything. So it's 143 because 143 stands for I love you in numbers. And I've done this now in 17 countries, and to show that language is no barrier. That's why it's numerical. So I'm really excited for that to be finalized. We've been working on that for a few months. So hopefully in June that'll be up and going. And I'm moving out to Los Angeles in early March to continue spreading this with larger network of people, and to continue to see where it takes me. But to just keep doing what I'm doing and seeing where it goes. So I just feel happy again in life, and to see where I used to have a 5 and 10 year plan, but I don't anymore. I got a 12-month plan.
Well, we're sad to hear that you're going to be leaving Windsor and the southwestern Ontario area, but best of luck in the future. I see some huge things on the horizon for you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I'm always going to be back probably 3-4 days a month, because the best thing is being able to create videos in Windsor, because people always say, oh my God, you're from Windsor, doing it in Windsor. I'm like, but people are people. It doesn't matter if you're in Ethiopia, Los Angeles, or Windsor. People are people. So the core of it never will change.
Well, Zachary, thank you again for joining us today. Where can people find you on all your various social medias?
Oh, yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, MD Motivator. And my biggest takeaway, if you want to take away anything from the conversation, is watch 3 to 6 videos and just see how kind people are. And hopefully that inspires you to then take action in your own life. That's my biggest takeaway.